Good morning, dear parents. Today, we are tackling the major decision that every parent faces in this 21st century, like how we educate our kids, how we guide them to the digital world. I'm your host for today, and I'm really very pleased to welcome two insightful parents, Miss Nupur and Miss Sarika. Thank you both for being here to share your experiences.
Thank you
Now,
for
let's
Thank you.
thank you for having us, Salome, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank
Likewise.
you so much for joining. Thank you for coming in. So, let's jump up to the world where education is really, really important. Of course, it is. So, what is your take? What does success mean to you as parents? Miss Nupur?
Well, Salome, ma'am, this is a very deep question. And personally, for me, success would be, it has got basically for me three pillars that I try to teach my son also. First would be freedom, actually. I would feel I'm successful when I have freedom. I have freedom to choose, basically, when I want to work, when I don't want to work, if I want to travel, uh, you know. So, one is definitely freedom, and second would be family and relationship. There's no fun in being successful and not having a great family life or a social life, so that is very important. And the third and final, and perhaps like one of the most or all the three are very important, but third is health, because you are successful but you're not healthy, so I don't think that is success. So these are, like, I think, three very important pillars of being successful, what I would call a successful person is. Yeah.
So that's very well put, Miss Nupur. Really very well put. Miss Sarika, what's your take on success as a parent?
Right. So, success in terms of an individual would, be different, right? When you become a parent, it just raises the bar. For me, success is not about grades or achievements. I've been saying that earlier also. For me, it is if I could raise my child to be a good individual, be kind, be independent, and mostly be very comfortable with your own skin. A lot of times kids do have that issue, and if I can be a good parent in raising such a kid who is confident, who comes to me whenever she requires anything, is not shy of thinking that the parent will shout or anything would go off, I think I've aced it. So for good parenting would be a lot of mix for every other parent, but I think for me this is what I would stand with.
That's really fascinating, your idea of success. Thank you for sharing. Okay, so let's quickly come. We are into a world which is really fast, and we have a lot of, in a sea of different options. Ms. Sarika, this question is specifically for you. Why have you chosen 21K as a school for your child? What made you take that decision? How is it better for you, your family, and your child?
So honestly, a 21K school was a choice because of COVID initially. All right. So I was just exploring. I was working, so I wanted something off wherein, it's easier to have her study from home. I started exploring off, and I think it's been quite a journey. We started my child being with 21K school right from grade one, and now that she's in grade four. I think this is one of the best decisions we've made for her as a child. So it's about 21K school being completely different from other online schools also, which I did compare. I think it's mainly because how child centric the whole approach is. So when I say that it is different, it means that firstly the environment is very customized and small for a certain number of kids. So what happens is the teacher knows the kid by the name, their learning style, their personality, and because of which I feel that we are not placing the kid into a system. We are actually placing them into a thoughtful and personalized learning environment. And I think that is the need of the day today, because it's not about just class book study, it's about learning a lot of practical things. And that's what stood out for me in 21K school. So, what I feel is that 21K actually meets the child where they are, maybe emotionally, individually, and academically. And from there, the kid grows. So, yeah, that's my take on it.
That's lovely. Focusing on personalization and flexibility is that really very much counts these days. Okay. So Miss Nupur, coming to you. What is the single most crucial mindset that parents have, and they have to adopt, that I need to limit my screen time toward actively coaching my child to become more ethical, more intentional, and much more of a digital citizen? So what is your take on it? How can we, coach our children to be a little more resilient, and be digitally mindful, like we are in a digital platform? So
Mhm.
how can you, inculcate that in the child, being digitally responsible as a learner?
Uh, Basically teaching the child few boundaries that
Yeah.
are non-negotiable actually. One is, while you are on a digital platform, you should not be actually chatting or talking with strangers. No interaction with the strangers. This is very, very important actually. And somehow I believe that there is these because I am I'm little creative, so I feel that digitally exposure should be should be limited, but not restricted actually.
I agree.
So because kids, they need to understand now, like Sarika and me, our kids are growing. They are in they are in grade 4. So no longer we can monitor time to time, we cannot do that. So making them understand the importance of being a digital citizen, but at the same time being responsible. Also restricting the time limit, and also, as I said, boundaries. You need to complete your reading, outdoor play, and also, in case if you want to, because they, after the school also, they interact a lot with their classmates, they chat, so obviously, and I love actually hearing to their chats and talks. But this is one thing that is very important according to me. And yeah.
I think that's very well put. As parents and, as a growing child, I think that's a very good way to balance it out. Really well put. Miss Sarika, now come on, let's make it actionable. Now, there are some rules. Now, here we are dealing with, supposing, a grade 4 learner. So, what is some practical, easy to implement rules would look like at in your place? So, do you have some struggles setting up rules, or what kind of a rule do you set for your child so that she's digitally involved but she's learning at the same time?
Yes, so I think initially there was a lot of screen time. For me, I've learned also through every step. I feel like I agree with Nupur completely. However, I feel that we need to evolve from limited screen time to intentional and healthy screen time. So probably now with the environment of 21K itself, how we are always online and they're always together collaborating, discussing, having new ideas coming in. So yes, screen time is good. However, what is the content and what is the purpose is important. So I started analyzing this, and then I started giving her time, whenever she required for a gaming or studies. What we do right now is that we do a do stay screen rule. How I'll just explain it to you. It's very easy. So do would be doing your homeworks, your assignments, or any other school related or any other extracurricular activities which are they're doing. First, you complete that. Stay can be a play. So play would be either reading or drawing or uh, probably painting or chatting with the family members. So that is also pivotal. Anywhere where she can actually use her mind and use her body also. So it's not just restricted to sitting at one place. And then you get your screen time. So maybe I'm doing the whole showing the carrot to the rabbit, but what happens here is she is enthusiastically doing this when coming to a screen time. In time, in terms of duration that we talk about. we do not limit it because she knows her limit. So initially, I had put a buffer like a 30-minute or a 40-minute, then a 20-minute you do eye relaxation. But now she's aware of that and she takes it accordingly. So I think afternoon, all of the kids they meet up for a gaming session. So that is the 45 minutes that they get. So she is okay with, so she does that. Probably during meals, we will not do screen time. Before sleeping, we will not do screen time. Right after you wake up, we do not do screen time. So these are minute things which we are bringing in every day. And maybe initially she was reluctant. She's like, why? I'm like, this is for good. And then slowly she's also made it as a habit. And we are doing this currently.
I think that's the magic formula to get kids, to balance out screen time as well as play. It's very well put. Thank you. So you talked about gaming. So, Miss Nupur, of lately, children are into gaming. So, is there something, some kind of digital safety or, some rules that you need to explain to your child, like when you are exploring some websites? I'm sure like children do go to different websites or different games. So is there anything that you would like to share? Like how mindfully can we be using those websites?
For us, for Hriday, like he was gaming actually some time back, but he doesn't seem to be much interested in gaming.
Okay.
So yeah, so he withdraws himself when there is like gaming or something most of the time. So I've not put a lot of thought into that actually. So I know that, he will not be interested in that as of now, but you never know because as they are evolving, as they are growing, they might be interested. But definitely, a monitoring is important. Having an eye on what they are doing and what are the websites they are checking out. What is the content? As Sarika said, our kids are growing, so monitoring is important, but not what how should I put it? Matlab, monitoring is important, but not you cannot direct them actually that you do
Absolutely.
this or you do that because it has to be like it has to be done very silently. You are monitoring, but they don't know that you are monitoring. So that's how I do keep a check on them. Rest, I don't think I've dwelled deep into this since he's not much into gaming yet. But definitely if he's online, because I've been going through a lot of cases where the gaming lead to contact with strangers, and so that is really disturbing. So definitely I think Sarika would be a better person to answer that question.
So, yeah, I will just add to what Nupur said. Yes, Riva doesn't do a lot of gaming, but yes, she's a part of gaming. So, when you talk about something called as digital citizenship, or, telling them about the basic safety rules rather on how, you work it. So, in terms of gaming, a lot of portals are online wherein people come and chat with you. So, this is clearly told to her that anybody who is unknown comes and chats with you, do not revert, and if it is continuous, please come and tell me. So whenever she is actually logged in, she is around next to me and I'm asking her who's there, and then she's like, my friends are around. So that is one way of keeping an eye. Now kids of this age will be very curious to know things, so they might want to explore further. The option here is just to be open, keep an open mind, keep an open communication, no scolding and no fear. Because one of the elements, I think, as we grew up also, we realize, that a lot of scolding wouldn't resort to anything but keeping an open communication. So we let her know what are the pros and cons. Definitely, we are monitoring age appropriate sites, but this is the best we can do. We can keep parental control. Probably the apps she downloads, there is a consent that has come in. However, if we educate them with this, they can always come to us and inquire. So, this is what I have educated her accordingly.
And also, I would like to add something to Sarika. What I have done is, in fact, me and my husband, we have told him that Google is an open platform. YouTube is an open platform. Anybody can put any information there. So you're not sure if it's authentic or not, whether you should be consuming that content or not, whether it's right or not. So you need not to, Google everything. First you have to come to me or your father,
Mm.
and whatever curiosity, whatever questions you have, we'll try our best to answer that. And in case if we have some doubts, or we need to consult somebody, we can always go to the experts rather than going to Google. Keep keep these search engine for a a broader
Mm.
search or knowledge, but not for something that that you're curious about. It isn't the right platform actually. So that is also one thing, because it's very important, because I see kids, like for Hriday also, now he doesn't do it, but earlier he was like googling a lot of things actually, which perhaps could have been, and this also increase a communication between parent and a child. But now
Agree.
he comes to me for always, for almost everything. So this is like a point. First ask your parents and then you Google it. Of course, if it's something like not that significant, then it's all right.
I do agree with both of your points. Like, it's really important to have the parental, not control, but monitoring. Monitoring,
Guidance.
really, it's there important.
Mm.
Okay. Now we cannot forget that our children are watching us. Okay. So how does our own phone behavior uh, set an example? So what kind of adjustments have you made to show that, what's your priority? Like kids do model their parents' behavior in terms of using things like mobiles or. So how are you, or what kind of an example are you setting for your child? Miss Nupur?
Salumi ma'am, basically me and my husband, we love reading actually, and that is the reason why Hriday also loves reading. So basically, mobile phones, we consider it as a device which we use for communication and also to work a lot of time, because you don't open your laptop all the time. And definitely, as Sarika said, that not at all screen time during your meals.
True.
It's prohibited, and my husband have never done that. I don't do that. So it's like, but these are all unspoken things, like we never taught him all these things, but since he has seen that, okay, we don't, until it's something important, some call comes up, so my husband would usually get up from the dining table, attend the call, and then come back to have the meal.
Mhm.
And definitely, no, I've never done that. I've seen a lot of kids watching, videos while having meal. So even if you're watching television, first finish your meal, pause whatever you're
Hmm.
watching, finish your meal, because I think having your food is a very, not just for your body, for your soul also, it's very important that it's done very mindfully. And then that the chit chat that happens during meals is like what it's, I think it's my favorite time of the day, because we get to have our dinner together most of the time. So yes, that is like one thing. Modeling, I think kids, rather than telling, if I tell him that no, you don't, you're not supposed to use mobile before bed, but if I am using before bed, then obviously. And these days, kids, lot of time he asks when Papa does this, and these are
True.
all adult thing. Obviously, he cannot do that. So because a lot of time my husband, like he comes home, he's working late, so he would say that even I want to study or I want to read
Mhm.
till late night. So I have to explain that he is, he's an adult, he need to finish his work, that's why he's you know he's working late. But for you, this is your growth years, sleep is extremely important for you. So yes, and kids, he has now started at this age comparing himself to his father. Papa is doing this, so why I can't do that? So modeling, I think, what you want, instead of telling the kids that do this, don't do that, eat healthy, but if I am dining out, I am, not eating healthy, if I am watching screens, if I am watching television all the time, and telling him not to do, so I think that's not fair. So Very simple, very simple. Whatever you want them to do, you do it first. They would model it. So it's effortless actually, for us, Salome ma'am.
Miss
And
Sarika?
also television is weekend. So
Mm-hmm.
Saturday, Sunday, Friday night, usually if both of
Mm-hmm.
them, my son and my husband, they want to watch some movie, I usually don't like it. They can watch late night also till 11:30, 12. Friday, that's it. So yeah, very simple for us, ma'am.
That's nice, very nice. Miss Sarika, what's your take? How would you monitor or model your behavior, if I would?
I would completely agree with Nupur on this that even I have realized that children they don't learn digital habits from lectures, they learn by watching it from us itself. So if we are constantly on our phones, they are watching us, they're noticing it. So if we take breaks, like we also have started doing that. We do not take our phones at night, or even if we do, what happens is she started telling us, "You can watch. I can't take my screen time." So reading was always there, but it was always reading, a little screen time, and sleeping. Now we've all changed all of that. It's gone to screen time, done, reading, and then sleeping. So these little habits that we have, yes, as Nupur rightly said, when you're having your meals, it is one of the times when you can sit and talk across with each other and also enjoy your food rather than just binge eating, watching television or screen, whichever. So we've also started doing that. So kids are obviously saying, like she said, that kids they look up to their parents. So in terms of good qualities and bad, they will obviously imbibe both. So our own behavior is actually the most powerful form of education, be it digital or be it reality. So that's what I gather.
That's lovely insights, reading and having your own set rules. That's really a very good take on it. But of late, most parents struggle, right? So there are times when they are, very overwhelmed, like their kid is not listening to them, or screen time goes out of control. So, is there any tip or anything that you would like to share for the parents who are struggling, with rather screen time, or there's no proper, what you could say, a schedule? So, what insights do you have to offer to such parents who are struggling? If you have to share, Miss Sarika.
Okay, I was thinking that Nupur is going to speak. That's why I kept a pause.
And I thought that perhaps you are going to take it forward. So I
So
would.
I'll just share my bit and then probably Nupur can
And
also. So
Sure.
yes, there might be times when it's chaotic and parents are also thinking that how can we take this forward? So much of screen time. They want to do so much.
Mhm.
However, it's very little that you can do. People start writing in schedules, timetables, downloading apps, and then having even more strict rules. So
Mhm.
all of this, I think it just makes it more complex. So I feel the most simplest form is beginning from you itself, minute things which you can do. So I just have two examples which I have been doing. I don't know if parents would like to take this initiative. It's something which I started. So with a lot of reading, all this, we've started doing this in our family. So one would definitely be having a little connection with her, having a me time with her. So initially, we started off with a 10-minute thing. Again, with today's world, we are also losing a lot of focus, and we also need to be focused so that we can focus on our kids. So we started with a 10-minute together time, and then we went off. Now we are at 30 minutes. So that 30 minutes would be pivotal where we probably, take a stroll together, or we could do a 15-minute TV watch. I know it's screen time, but it is talking about some topic which is not a cartoon, but something which we can discuss. Probably read a book or draw, or even just have a casual conversation. So we started off this, and it's really helped us bond because the idea is to be fully present. So just for namesake, if you do it, it wouldn't work. So I think this helped me engage with her. And as she's growing, now that they're fourth graders, it's going to help while they turn tweens, teens, and then to teenagers, adults, sorry. So I think this bit is helping me right now. If parents can inculcate this, because I'm sure a lot of parents, both parents are working and then there is work at home. So might feel a little more. So just starting off with 10-15 minutes would create wonders. The second thing which I did, like I told you, is while at night, while we are reading, after which when we are heading off to sleep, I have this question. So I had read this somewhere, and I keep asking her every night, what is the best thing that happened to you today? The
Yeah.
best thing. So what happens here is, so she will remember something, and she, it will actually spark a laughter, or there will be something, some lesson that she's learned. Now, what happens here is I'm fostering connection, reflection, and she also engages and thinks about the entire day, what's happened. So, memory. And then whatever it is, it's a banter. We just laugh or giggle it out. And then screen time is off. So then we go off to sleep. So this also has become a habit currently with me. So probably parents, if they could try just 5 minutes, but when they talk about something positive and they sleep, I think it helps psychologically as well.
Miss Nupur, any take on this?
Yes, I completely agree with actually Sarika, because I also practice this. I also, like, before bed, I think meals is one thing, and before bed, because it's usually me and Hriday together before bed. So it's a very we I call it Gyan Charcha between him and me. So it's very deep conversation usually that we have before sleep. I ask him about, like, what was the best part of the day, and then I also ask him that what do you think you could have done better today that you can do tomorrow. So these two things. In fact, I was thinking, uh, he the answers in the conversation sometimes is so interesting. I was thinking that I should document it. Once he grows up, he will be able to see what kind of conversation we are having. So, and absolutely what Sarika said, that the connection with the child is extremely important, very, very important. And I see a lot of parents, because it's not it's very overwhelming for parents also. There are so many challenges, so many things coming, happening all around. And as like at this age, I think for me, I have a parent to look after, I have a child to look after. So my you know so having a balanced mind is also very important for me. Taking care of myself is very, very important, which I think usually that is the reason why parents are not able to connect with the child, because there's so much happening. And a child, I remember nay, like till now, a lot of my friends, my cousins, my sisters, they say, how do you manage Hriday being around all the time? We cannot manage, like, for if they have this summer break or Diwali break. He said it's like so, it's not cool at all. They would wait. It's when are school starting? But touch wood, for me, it's not. I love having him around. And I think the suggestion would be, the one tip would be that having a connection, having a bond with the child. And you know I'll tell, like, as Sarika said, I read somewhere that a child, which was very beautiful, because they said that a child, imagine you are perhaps 5'3", 5'4", and there is a human being which is like perhaps twice your height.
Hmm.
Lot of people who are twice your height surrounded by you, and they're yelling at you, and they're telling you, make it fast, do this, do that. How would you feel? So that is how a child feel. So I think this was like, I don't remember the book, but when I was pregnant, I read this book, and this perspective was like, I could understand what a child feel when a lot of adults are around and they are telling him to do this, do that. So making a connect and not understanding, there are kids are unreasonable a lot of time. I'm sure Sarika would understand that. We were discussing it during sports day, because their lingo has changed, the way they talk has changed. What we considered as protocols and manners, they think it's all right, that's how we
Cool.
start our conversation. So even we are, in that phase of understanding. So I think connecting with the child is very, very important, Salome ma'am. Having that trust that, if something wrong happens, then I can go back to my parent. I can talk to my parent, and he or she will be there rather than, shouting on us. So yes.
So I think this are very good insights which really parents can use. Good tips, parent presence being there. It's really perfect. Through this starting small, I think we all will be in a win-win situation. So thank you, Miss Nupur. Thank you, Miss Sarika, for sharing your incredible insights on both education as well as digital parenting. This has been really helpful. Thank you so much for joining. This was great.
Thank you so much, Salome
Thank
ma'am.
you for this opportunity to, do a little takeaway and a giveaway also of whatever we have learned and whatever we can take in as well. So thank you so much.